Pakistan, good and very good.
High five.
It took me literally over a year to figure out how to come to Pakistan, but I'm finally here. Oh my god. Super happy being here. Can't wait to explore everything in this country. Heard so many good things about it, and yeah, here we go.
Having quickly checked out this amazing mountain viewpoint with gorgeous views of the capital city of Pakistan called Islamabad, I proceeded to the largest mosque in the whole country that can accommodate up to 300,000 worshippers. Faisal Mosque was built in 1987 for over $120 million and was actually the largest mosque in the entire world for over 7 years. I really loved visiting the mosque because it was very peaceful, the views around it were amazing, the people were very friendly, and last but not least, that's where I met my German boy Flo.
Hello everyone! I'm in the Pakistan and I'm so excited. This is crazy! Look at this!
Flo flew into Pakistan to explore the country with me, and together we checked out many different tourist sites in Islamabad, such as the Pakistan Monument, huge city parks, gorgeous natural sites, and even a Christian church. However, despite all of those incredible places, my boy Flo seemed to be more excited about something a little more familiar.
Look at this! In Pakistan, this is crazy! The Mercedes from the Germany! This is cool. I actually didn't want to touch it.
Later that day, we hired an awesome Uber driver who took us 200 kilometers away from the capital to the oldest city in Pakistan that's been around for over 2,500 years, Peshawar. Walking around Peshawar really does take you thousands of years back in time, since it's home to lots of intricate alleyways, beautiful markets, old mosques, vast colonial buildings, ancient tea shops, and some next level stomatology centers. In order to fully understand the city that's right at the border with Afghanistan, Flo and I hired two awesome local guides called Shahik and Umer.
Just got a new hat apparently. Oh! Does it look good? Very beautiful.
Shahik and Umer helped us make friends with the super friendly local people, took us to see some really old buildings and markets, bought amazing tea for us, and told us many interesting stories about the city's past and present.
People used to talk about Pakistan, and especially the Peshawar, that it was affected by terrorism 7 or 8 years back. But it's not like that. It's not the real image that media is portraying. We are the loving people, we are safe people, we are now safer. The youth have been educated, and the people are so loving that they have just defeated terrorism and just promoting the peace. So I'll invite you all to come to Peshawar and see the Peshawar.
Amazing. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Oh! Home run! Home run!
This is crazy! The Germans did it! The Germans did it!
Even though exploring Peshawar was really interesting, but the best part about the whole experience was that later that night we were hosted by this wonderful local woman called Nabila, who not only hosted us in a separate room in her house that apparently made my boy Flo very happy, but also shared amazing meals with us and told us all about her life in Peshawar.
Well, being in Peshawar is probably the best thing which has happened to me, because people here are very accommodating. The men here are very accommodating, and I'm really sad about the perspective which has been given to the world outside Pakistan, that women here are being captivated and confined. They're kept confined to their homes. It's not so. I work and I come back home by 7 in the night. It means that I am away from home all day long, and I never have, my husband never questioned me about my whereabouts, and he's happy that since I'm working and I'm contributing to the economy of the house.
Our stay in Peshawar was already much better than we ever expected it to be, but things got even better that evening when Nabila's son Adam took us to watch a football match with his awesome friends.
Pakistan, ja, ja, Pakistan, dil, Pakistan, ja, ja, Pakistan, dil.
Early next morning, we hopped into a car with our new driver called Irfan and started a long trip towards the mountains. First things first though, we decided to check out one of the most important Buddhist relics in Pakistan, as well as the famous UNESCO World Heritage Site, the ancient Buddhist monastery of Takht-i-Bahi that was founded around 2,000 years ago and apparently inspires everyone who visits it.
Pakistan, good and very good.
High five.
Then we continued driving up to the mountains, taking short breaks whenever we got the chance, and as interesting as the experience was, the roads certainly weren't the best.
Yeah, now the roads are definitely much worse than I expected, I guess. We've been in this car for exactly 11 and a half hours right now. The end seems to be nowhere near us. Can't wait to see where life takes us, but yeah, it's been a long day.
After many more kilometers of mud, sand, and snow, we finally got home very late into the night. The next morning, we found ourselves in the beautiful mountain town of Chitral that used to be capital of a princely state by the same name before Pakistan's independence. We spent a day exploring the town, then hired a next level cool local driver, hopped into his jeep, and went on a road trip.
Look at the windscreen. Look at this. Oh my God, is it better now? Look, it's better now.
My eyes hurt, bro. My eyes hurt so bad.
Later that day, we arrived to this incredibly unique mountain village called Kalash that was inhabited by indigenous Indo-Aryan people known as Kalashis. These people look very different from most Pakistani people, have their own traditions, wear distinct traditional clothing, and practice their own ancient religion that's a form of ancient Hinduism.
All the kids seem to be afraid of us and everyone's hiding their faces and trying to beat me with sticks.
Even though the local kids were not the most hospitable, but the grown-ups certainly were. Just a few minutes later, we made friends with a local Kalashi hotel owner called Abdul Khalik, who told us quite a bit about his life in the mountains.
It's quite okay. Small farmers, very small. Hardly we survive. And we have also some jobs. People work also for government and in the military, in the police, in other kinds, and some people have work. I am businessman. I have 3 hotels, and I have trout farm, and I have 11 children. I like Pakistan. It's my country. I like the government. I like my Pakistani people. I like Pakistani land. I love Pakistan, and I like the tourists also. I like also European.
Then Abdul treated us to an epic lunch with his friends, as well as some homemade red wine that's apparently allowed in the Kalash Valley and tastes pretty good.
That is very good. Actually, his friends are making the wine, yes?
Yes.
Also Kalash people. Very, very good man, very good wine.
Eventually, we got back to Chitral, where unfortunately it was time to say goodbye to my boy Flo.
Man, thanks for everything. It was such a great pleasure traveling with you, and I also really love your accent, man.
Thank you, man. It was really nice. But can I tell you a secret?
Yes.
I actually speak perfect English.
What?
Then I took a few very long overnight buses and arrived to the second largest city in the country, as well as one of Pakistan's most socially liberal, progressive, and cosmopolitan cities, Lahore.
So far, it seems like everyone's super excited that I came to Lahore. All the local people are super friendly. Everyone's stopping me on the ship. They want to talk and give me things and stuff and greet me. It's really, really beautiful. Plus, the city's very old, very, very nice. There's a lot of historical buildings here and stuff, and so far, I love it.
Not only were the people great in Lahore, but the city itself looked amazing. You see, Lahore's origins reach into antiquity. The city has been controlled by numerous empires throughout the course of history, including the Hindu Shahis, Ghurids, the Delhi Sultanate, the Mughal Empire, and of course, the British. Because of that, the city is full of UNESCO World Heritage sites, incredible markets, shops, mosques, temples, and awe-inspiring parks.
Turns out that in the very center of Lahore, they have this massive green park that's really beautiful, quite calm. There's so much traffic around it, but here inside it's very peaceful. There's a lot of people hanging around, having fun, and There's flowers here, trees, grass. It's so beautiful, wow. In the city center.
As beautiful as Lahore was, the coolest thing about it was that I got to meet with my follower Sohail, who showed me all around the city and introduced me to some really wonderful local people.
Welcome to Pakistan!
Early next morning, I hopped into a taxi and went to a place I had been dreaming of visiting, the famous border with India. However, there was a problem.
Apparently that's the border with India, where I can see both of the flags right now, and every day the army from both sides, they basically have like a standoff. But just one day ago, the border was closed because of the coronavirus threat, and no one's allowed to go in right now. So I'm literally a few hundred meters away, but they won't let me go. Now a lot of the airports have been shut down, schools, universities, offices, even government buildings and stuff, so things are getting very, very tense right now.
Yet the corona situation was getting completely out of hand, so I took a long night bus and after a lengthy 17-hour drive, arrived to the largest city in Pakistan called Karachi. Karachi is not only the country's largest city, but also its premier industrial and financial center with an estimated GDP of over $80 billion. Karachi is also Pakistan's most cosmopolitan city as it's linguistically, ethnically, and religiously diverse. In Karachi, I caught up with my follower Daniel and had lots of fun exploring the city.
Life in Pakistan right now is amazing, especially if you live in Islamabad or Lahore. Especially if I talk about Islamabad because it's so close to the nature as well. But Karachi is little hectic and chaotic, and 25 million people living in a city. So I think Pakistan is very much misunderstood country, especially how the media portray it, especially the Western media. So I think people need to come here and see how great people are here. They can literally do anything to accommodate foreigners. So people really need to come here and see by themselves rather than, believing on these news and stuff.
Even though Daniel wasn't the biggest fan of Karachi, I guess, but I thought the city was really cool. The only problem was that with every day I spent in Pakistan, the corona situation was becoming more and more serious. Many shops were closing, pharmacies were running out of products, the police were telling people not to spend time in public places, and apparently the whole world was shutting down.
Man, I just came back home and things are getting completely out of control. The whole country is in total panic. Europe has just cancelled all the flights. Malaysia just closed its borders. Thailand is about to close its borders. Manila has just been shut down. Literally the whole world is going crazy. So I really need to do some. Man, this is insane.
As unfortunate as it was, I didn't want to get stuck inside the country, so I cancelled my travel plans, booked a flight ticket, and ran to the airport to catch one of the last flights leaving Pakistan. When I boarded my plane, I was a little sad about the fact that I had to leave so early, but at the same time I felt very grateful and happy that I still got to spend 11 days traveling all around the beautiful country of Pakistan. I know that many people around the world, including my friends and family, are afraid of Pakistan. They had all seen the terrible events of the past and they still don't think that traveling there is safe. However, I experienced a very different country from what most people have in mind. I went anywhere and did everything without feeling unsafe for even a moment. Everyone I met was so kind and hospitable, it literally blew me away. People shared whatever they had with me, they showed me around, and a lot of them would buy things for me simply because I showed respect to them and their culture by coming to their country. Traveling around Pakistan once again proved to me that there are billions of incredibly kind, friendly, and wonderful people in the world that will treat you like family if you ever get the chance to meet them. Thank you to all the wonderful people I met in Pakistan. You guys will stay in my heart forever.